Stream some more. That second episode, or whatever we'll really end up calling these. And continue playing. By the way, you'll notice that I do have a save file. It backs up. So like, this is one that starts the fortress. It's going to back up every so often. I can't remember if I have it set to a year or seasonal backup. I think yearly. So when we left our industrious dwarves, they're digging out. Winter is thawing into spring, leaving lots of great stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and start by having them gather some plants. Gathering plants actually give you access to some pretty good materials. Well, not materials, but some pretty good food items that'll help keep your dwarves happy and productive. What's really important though is that I really do need to produce, as soon as possible, a cooking center and a still. Probably going to put those here near this food stockpile and the farm plots. In my experience, I don't actually run into too many starving dwarves. What usually gets me is, like I said, not starvation, but a lack of booze. Dwarves must have booze to function. Without alcohol, they're just miserable and worthless. And in that state, they're just no good for running a fort. Generally, the final failure of a fort is going to come whenever you actually fail to produce enough booze and you run out, because the fortress will very quickly afterwards spiral into disaster. The dwarves won't have booze, so they will not work, and unable to work, they cannot produce more food and booze, and eventually their needs are not being met. They throw tantrums, destroy each other. But that is the kind of thing that we're going to try and prevent. You need to always be producing alcohol. Really, it's not that surprising. It's essentially a medieval world with medieval technologies. And what that means is that water is not safe to drink. But alcohol, boiled and processed, is. I'm actually producing quite a bit of silver here. This may be a pretty rich silver area, and that may be what I end up producing a lot of and exporting. Let's produce some doors. And we'll need to produce other production centers. We're going to go ahead and produce a crafts dwarf's workshop in here out of some of the granite lying around. What's really important is that we begin setting up so that we can build and maintain a fortress with a minimum of exceptional difficulty. So you're going to need a masonry as well, but we don't really have space for that at the moment. We're also going to take down the carpenter center outside and bring it inside. And we will be taking apart the wagon. Taking apart that wagon will provide us with other food. So if we have this here, we're not actually going to need any mechanisms, but they are very handy. So okay, we're going to put this birch door here. We're going to make this a bedroom. Make it a dormitory. The dwarves now have a place to sleep. That'll cheer them up. They don't have their own rooms, but the dormitory gives them a place they can go and sleep, which will keep them happy enough. They'll go quite a while without having a private room. I'm going to change how I want to shape this out. So we have the farms here. We don't actually need the farms. Separate it out. I'm going to go ahead and run this over. Just so the dwarves don't have to walk through the upstairs here just to get to their farming area. workshop. And now we're going to need a mason's workshop. A carpenter's shop. Because we're taking down the one outside. This item inaccessible. Okay, I see. It's just moving things around. Occasionally it does cause a bug, so nothing to worry about there. Our miners are digging out this new area here where we'll be able to put some. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this food stockpile 1 to have like seeds, and I'm going to place a second stockpile here that will have the actual food, and with it flowing from food stockpile to farm plots to food producing workshops to a finished food stockpile to it'll just flow along here. It'll basically be like an assembly line. It's important to try and keep your fortress efficient. A lack of efficiency is really deadly in Dwarf Fortress. And we also need to have the broker's house and the office, which are going to be located up here. So have the mayor's house and the mayor's office. The mayor's office here. With this being the mayor's home. You then have the broker's house and office, the manager's house and office, bookkeeper's house and office. These are going to be located near where the trade depot is going to be. Sheriff. So we're going to have here the mayor, sheriff, hammerer, manager, broker, bookkeeper. So we need 6. One of them needs to be a bit bigger. So you can take off this back one here. this will be enough for the no, we won't be putting the stairway there. That area will basically serve as an office section for the things that need to be able to poke any incoming caravans, and will serve the trade depot here. We're going to build the trade depot out of granite. It is actually we're going to go with Orthoclase so it'll stand out a bit more. And that way it'll be a nice bright yellow in all this black material. Orthoclase, just a second, let me pull open here. Knowing your rocks is good. It's a potassium feldspar. We will actually need to have the wiki open here just in case we end up needing it. You never do know what you might end up needing, so. This ramped pit I'm putting in here, farmer's workshop. That's producing plum pelmets. This is going to produce cave wheat. Build construction wall. Not actually going to want to build that though just yet. Okay. So this bridge is going to raise up to the north, giving us a sealable bit of security here. We're going to make it out of... Go ahead and use the ortho class. Once again, that's going to give it a nice yellow color, just help distinguish it. As you can see, it's now completely spring out here. We're still waiting for the environment to thaw. We'll have to be careful with that, with the environment thawing. We want to make sure that we can eventually set up a permanent water supply for inside the fortress. This. I did embark next to a road, and that is what this is. So we will probably need to maintain that road in the future. Otherwise, it can grow over, and then visitors will not appreciate it. They actually won't care. They won't even notice. But it looks nice if you don't. And if we ever visit here again, being able to follow that road is going to help us find this fortress fairly easily. So we have some farm plots, and we need, let's see, workshops. Everything we need for this, we will eventually want screw presses and querns here, but not right now. Dyer's shop, no, Ashery Fishery, and Farmer's Workshop. Butcher shop needs to be in a different area. People don't like watching animals butchered, so we don't want it out there where everyone's going to see it. Jeweler's workshop, metalsmith's forge, no. Bowyer, clothier, loom, millstone, quern, leatherworks. Yeah, we're not going to put any of that out here, so let's say stockpile food. See, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tall, so we're going to go ahead and make another 5 wide, 11 tall. bowls of food. Now, we're then going to, this is important, we're going to manage these. So, like, this one is going to store no prepared food. This is going to store only seeds. So we're going to forbid everything not seeds from this one. This one, I'm going to allow everything but seeds. I'm not going to allow prepared food in that one. Because I'm going to extend this out just a little bit more. We're going to put our kitchen here. We're still here. We're going to put another one of those stockpiles over here, so. So yeah, that's going to make our food production just a little bit more efficient because it'll move from seeds to farm plots with a farming workshop. Then it'll have produced food. Next to that, we'll have our brewery and kitchen, which will then produce ready-to-go food. The ready-to-go food then can be picked up and carried on to other locations. And we'll be able to set those up as we do that. That way, if there's we can set up at some point a dining room with a pantry off to the side with food in it that will take food from here as needed as it is produced. This kind of efficiency is important when you're playing Dwarf Fortress because it really makes a difference between whether or not you're kind of just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if you can get it to stick, or if you're really producing a whole lot of stuff. Now we're going to start producing, not beds. We have plenty of beds. We need barrels. Barrels are one of the main storage items. So we're just going to set that to produce a whole bunch of them. We are also going to create some rock. You can also create what are called rock pots. Pots contain a whole lot more than a barrel does. They're quite enormous. The problem with pots is that they are ridiculously heavy. I mean, you're talking about, oh, well, I'm going to contain food in a giant cylinder of granite. That's not something that's easy to move around. But you can have a whole lot of food in there. Okay, we've made it to summer. So that's one down. We really do need... It is saving every season, so it's saving up now. Now, we really do need to ensure that our production in a fortress like this is up and running by about mid-autumn at the very longest. We need to be beginning to produce the food and other materials and resources. So that's going to be our biggest focus right now, or my biggest focus right now is churn out as much food as possible and brew it. Just brew, 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 brew. Okay. So let's set up the vital kitchen. Even more vital still. Because dwarves need alcohol. Cannot function without drinking. So this is the first time you're going to see this. This is a view which lets me see what people's skills and abilities are and what they are actually set to be willing to go and do. What I'm doing is making sure that I do have someone who's set to do architecture. Wait, let the production of things. Okay, we now have a still set up, and we cannot brew anything. It's not good. This isn't good because I have plump elements, which should be brewable. But I can't brew So let's see what I don't know about brewing in Dwarf Fortress now. Okay, I need more free barrels. That's the problem. So we actually want to set this to actually have empty barrels in it as well. And to set that, I will come over here to no. Let's see, where is it at? Don't need. I'm not gonna need most of this stuff. I don't really care about the material of it. We do, however, want to make sure that they're only putting barrels, and maybe if I can find it up here, pots. We don't want anything else put up in here and working in here because it's unnecessary. And it would just eat up space and waste it. So that's what's going on there. We can cancel the extract from the plants order. That's not going to be needed right now. Kitchen. Pretty much no reason to just set prepare lavish meal on repeat. That's going to I can prioritize things and tell them, for the love of God, do it. That's going to be useful. That is new, but useful. So we're going to assign this to our expedition leader. He now has the things he needs to manage and bookkeep. Now that he can manage, we can come in here to... There's a button. Bookkeeper settings. We want high precision. And we can come in here to job list, manager, and I can use this now in the future to begin giving orders. Now, final storage here. Okay, we don't want that. We're going to go ahead and remove that one. Designate one more row here to be dug out. Wood. Another table, another chair. wait. The bridge that I ordered built earlier is now under construction. So you can go ahead and order these removed. Upstairs. So what we're going to do is begin building. So we have the mason's shop and the carpenter's shop. And we're going to build new crafts shops. And a new mechanics shop. Actually, we're just going to do this shop over one. What we're going to do is we're going to put it downstairs here next to each of these workshops. It's in here. Each one's going to lead then to an upstairs. And we're going to dig out storage rooms for... This will be for what they produce. And this will be for raw materials for them. Fishing and why? No one should be fishing at the moment. That's not right. Read Dwarf's fishing. Commit. So I just turned off that dwarf that's fishing and told him to stop fishing, because fishing is not needed right now. He's just been wasting time. Oh, goody! This guy was sitting on the... Okay, this guy was sitting in the... Oh, I see. He decided to ford at the bottom of the map. The stream. And he got washed out. Okay, it's vital we begin producing more booze. Pump helps me make alcohol. That's why I'm producing so much of them. Cave weed I can't produce any more of. Sweet pods help me make rum and a couple other things. So we're going to go and produce some of those too when able. Let's see. Take from a pile. Give kitchen still, take kitchen still. Yeah, I can't tell it to take from a farm plot, so that's no problem. This will now send things through. The produced food will stockpile here and stockpile food stockpile 3. And that's what we want to have happen. So we're going to give our expedition leader basically his rooms so that he can make use of them. Expedition leader, we're going to smooth out his office. In order for it to actually smooth up, we do have to come over here and make sure that someone is set to engraving.
he's going to actually end up doing it himself. Dwarves, stone detailing, commit dwarves.
Sphalerite. Anyway.
So we come down here, make sure everything's running good down here. You can see it's beginning to all flow just nice and fun. Fungal wood barrel, view. Much more complicated than it used to be. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and permit drinks in here. We're also gonna permit cheese. What we don't want is unprepared stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and come in here, and anything where we see prepared, we're gonna say no, we do want that. Basically anything prepared, it's already like made and ready to go, so we don't need to worry too much about it. These are prepared. We don't want to do unprepared fish. Eggs we don't want in here. Plants we don't. We do want drinks. We don't want seeds in here. We want these. We don't want flour. We don't want bone meals. We don't want fats and tallows. We don't want pastes and cakes. We don't really want any extracts. We definitely don't want lye sitting in there. So. On this one, we're going to go ahead and come over here and we're going to say, we don't want drinks being stored here. We don't want cheeses. We don't want meats and unprepared fish. The only stuff we want over here is stuff that will then be used in production food. We don't want lye over here. Lye shouldn't be anywhere in here. Lye is for soap making. You can't eat it. You'd suffer horribly if you did it. It's not a food item. Dwarf and rum. Okay, so we don't need to make this such like ridiculous. We don't need to worry about it being high priority anymore. Just need to make sure those get done. Because we now got our production going. So our expedition leader is now working, and we can come in here, and if we say, let's see, where is it? There's those, bookkeeper setting. It's already doing that. Where's our counts? Civilization more lead. Details, not only that. Reports. Stockpiles. Status. Okay, yeah, so I can come in here and I can look at the kind of stuff we got. We have 15 units of meat, 10 of fish, 34 of plant, 34 seeds, 75 drink, 44 other. Kitchen. Letting them make and brew whatever they'd like to. Stone. great. So, looking good. The expedition leader is going to be smoothing out his room, basically just making it look nice. We're not really going to gain much by doing that, but he'll find it fancier and be happier about it. And task, rock, hot. Just looking up in the trees of what we have there, so. There's a lot of looking around in Dwarf Fortress just to see what you're dealing with so that you know. You want to know what's going on. I'm not actually going to build this second wall. The second wall, see, they won't stand on a construction while building constructions, so that is going to let me fill in that spot there without having to risk being the dwarf basically trapping himself inside. So I just cancel these afterwards. Now, yes, there is 4 chunks of Galena ore. That is an ore of silver, but it's not going to be that big a deal. It's just not. that a dining hall. I should set some traffic zones too. Let's see, traffic is designations, set traffic areas, so high. Basically, I'm setting up so that, you know, like here, this is to try and discourage them from walking over the farm plots. Not absolutely block them from it, just, hey, don't walk over these like crazy. Set these as low traffic, not because we don't want them to go there, but because we want them to avoid stepping on top of that if they can. Basically, it tells them, hey, maybe I shouldn't walk over that open stairway and risk falling down and breaking my neck as I tumble down 2 stories of stairs. Your dwarves aren't very happy if they fall downstairs, so it's pretty much a damn good idea. Looks like we're actually approaching about another hour now, so I'm probably gonna finish this episode up here. You can see as the fortress is beginning to take shape. This is going to be a pretty darn good initial fortress. Eventually, I'm likely to want to build a new one, probably over closer to the road over here. And this will have been, you know, we're not going to like really mine out of this one or anything. This one will have been a temporary location. And I mean, I'll still probably use it, but it'll have been a temporary location to allow me to start at first before I could build up the numbers to get to a different one. Of course, this all could change if, you know, we're attacked by a bronze colossus next week. It's not going to matter that's not going to matter at all then how any of that goes or how it's looking. So I'll leave you with this. We're going to come in here to status. You broke with the appraisal skill. Is he not set it? Is he not an appraiser? Did I forget to give him that? Oh no. They don't have appraiser. I have a problem. and have already lost this fortress. So Adil. Wait, what? Gender says both. I don't know what that means. Not in the context of this, anyway. Let's see. Appraise. That's going to be a social skill. Appraiser. She is not capable of appraising. I have forgotten to give her the most important ability. Huh. Just how good they like something. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind if and when I start a new fortress.
This fortress may be in trouble. My broker has no appraisal skill, and with no appraisal skill, I have no way to know the value of anything that I am trading. So. Without being able to know the value of what I'm trading, I am pretty much doomed to fail at this. Because if I don't offer good deals, I will have traders simply leave. If I'm simply throwing money away, I'm going to waste fortress resources. So. See how this goes. We're going to go ahead and stop here. I'm going to save the game. Once we've saved that, we're going to come in and I'm just going to show the emblem of my fortress, just to show what it looks like. I guarantee you, it will not have Griffons in it. If it does, I will be very surprised. It's probably going to be something like a wheel of cheese or a cringing dwarf. Okay. Actually, I can't. Well, that's great. I have here the initial one. I have the next one here at 4-1. This is the main save. We're going to end it up with a crash as I tried to open up the arena. Well, y'all have a good day. This has been another episode. In the next episode, I probably destroy the fortress and kill all